You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. We got Reese in the building. We got the real Louis Ortega in the building. We got TJ. Crazy weekend, guys, with racing. If you're a fan of the MotoGP and the World Superbike stuff, I'm pretty sure, I think BSB happened too. How's it going, TJ, man? How's everything?
Just watching BSB and MotoGP all weekend, just flipping back and forth, different sessions, and that's about it pretty much. We had a rainy Sunday, so stayed in all day, and it was the best time to catch up.
Yeah, it's like that when it rains. At least we had sports on or motorcycle racing on. There's other sports on too to keep us entertained. It did rain a little bit down here as well. What's going on, Louis, man? How are things today?
Good, busy. This past week was pretty hectic. A lot of racing, a lot of personal stuff I had to get done. I spent last week in California, flew back super early Friday to jump on the weekend and try to get all my personal stuff done. But of course I didn't. So,
hey man, that's why it's personal. That's one of the, without giving up too much detail on air, that's one of the things I will donate to help people do. Because I remember doing it once and I was just like, man, listen, man, I'll give you something for that because it's no fun.
Yeah, same here, man. If I would definitely help somebody out in the time of need. there's some things you'd own that you don't realize how much you weigh until you try to pick them up by yourself. You're like, how did I ever get that shit in my house in the first place? Who helped me? I didn't do it myself.
I know that for sure. Reese, man, how are things, man? You got a big weekend coming up, so I mean, I think you must have been just on cloud nine since last weekend started.
It's been a hectic week, same as Louis, man. Just getting back from California, now over here in Texas. Get a long weekend ready to go, in the heat. Time to get back to work.
Yeah, right, man. Well, it is that. It's time to get back to work, and the people come here for the motorcycle talk. So we'll get it going. A little different tonight because I mean, the younger brother finally got one. Looked like he would have had two if he didn't crash out. So let's just talk about that and what you guys think of what Alex Marquez accomplished and how much of that did Mark want to let him win versus because the championship would have been over, obviously, and it still may be. But what are your thoughts on what Alex Marquez did, being able to beat his brother, which apparently no one else has done all season on a Ducati? TJ.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll go first. No, it's good to see that Alex is back on track. I mean, for that win, for all weekend, he looked really well. It sucked to see him go down in the sprint. How hard he's been trying, but there was a lot of pressure on him anyway because Mark does not want to win the championship yet after how well he's been doing. So he knows his brother's his only competition. So he's been rooting for him. So now his brother wants to push a little stronger. And yeah, I'm glad he did it in the sprint and not the GP because, that's where the more points are held. But it was really good to see him pull it out and just to see the family and them too and celebrating in front of and Mark Marquez's corner. That was just a good sight to see it for the sport. I thought it was really good.
So did you think the brother gave him one?
I at one point when he got in front of him, I think Mark was like, I would just let him get a second or half a second, but not make it too obvious. But he did put in a little fight, and I don't think he was going to try to pull it off. I think he's going to let his brother win that one.
Okay. All right. Reese, what are your thoughts on the win? And for you, man, do you think that, Alex can do it again?
To say he can do it again, maybe. I mean, depends on the track, depends on where he goes. That's going to be the biggest factor. I mean, I'm glad he did pull it out, and like TJ said, I'm glad that he didn't, crash in the GP race. I'm glad he crashed in the sprint race. And I think the pressure was on him. And I mean, I watched the kind of like the after talk for it, and he said that it was his fault. He was pushing, and his brother Mark was saying you didn't need to push. He was actually pulling away from him. So. And Mark wasn't all there this weekend. I mean, Alex was faster than him all weekend. So I mean, it was nice to see him get the win. I mean, I hope, he can come back and pull out another one and keep the whole championship going. I mean, it was kind of nice. I mean, but we all know ultimately at the end of the day that Marquez is going to pull out the championship and win this whole thing. Is pretty much locked and sealed. He can take the rest of the season off.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, yeah. What are your thoughts, Lewis? You heard Reese mentioned, and I was thinking this as well, that, Mark struggled this weekend. Is that a little bit of nerves, or it's just sometimes it happens every once in a while? It's a full moon anyway, so it could be just that.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's just not your track, not your weekend. You're just not feeling that groove. And I think he struggled throughout the weekend. I mean, if you looked at the practice, he had a couple of big Marc Marquez saves on his elbow and things like that. So, this is a track he's done well at the past, but he hasn't been dominant at this track specifically. And, again, this is a heavy right-handed track, and he's obviously much stronger on left-handed track. He loves counterclockwise tracks. And his brother just was on pace from the very first practice right till, the sprint. I mean, I thought his brother was going to win the sprint. He was walking away with it. And, he lost the front. And, that's part of racing. You crash. Right. But then his brother came back on Sunday and really did show the pace that he had on Saturday. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just for a few laps. I mean, there was a point in the race where, they were the only two guys lapping in that 140. And they were just walking away from each other. And I think legitimately Mark did try to win. If you look, a little bit past the halfway mark, I think with like 8 laps left, Mark tried to do what Mark normally does, is when the tires drop off, try to make that move. And he did close in on his brother a couple of times. And then he ran wide. He had a little bit of an issue. So I don't think he let him win specifically. Mark likes to win. Any top rider like that likes to be on this top step. And, when people say, oh, he let him win, again, you don't realize the bonus money that's behind these wins. The difference between first and second place could be anywhere from $20,000 to $200,000, depending on how your contract is laid out. So, I don't think Alex is going to send Mark a check for $150K for letting him win. I think he legit beat Marquez. Alex beat Mark on a heads-up event just because Alex was better at this track, man. Throughout the whole weekend, he was showing those signs of brilliance. And after the tough couple of rounds that he's had, it's good to see him bounce back and get back up towards the front, because he has had some pretty hard rounds, like the last 3-4 rounds. He went from being that guy in second place, win one, guy in second place, to like DNF, long lap penalty.
Morbidelli.
Yeah, he went Morbidelli on us, man. He went rogue for a minute. But unlike Morbidelli, he actually has been on the top step. He has tasted that good Prosecco from the top step. And Morbidelli's just tasted a lot of gravel lately and a lot of penalties,
Yeah, we'll get to that. Quartararo, getting on the podium, Q2. What do you think of Quartararo's ride? I know you guys think highly of Quartararo. What are your thoughts, TJ?
I feel like he has it in him every weekend. Every round is just, the package that's put together for him. He can ride around any problem pretty much. He doesn't really complain unless it's something really dramatic. But every podium he got or when he was on pole, he's earned every ounce of it. So he rode really well in the sprint. I see that it was definitely a step in the right direction for the Honda for that race, but for long distance, they still struggling a little bit. But I think it was definitely well-deserved for Fabio to finally get a taste of the podium again.
I completely agree. What are your thoughts, Reese, on Quartararo's performance? I think he was the first. I think he was the first one in 137s, if not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to see him be the first ones in the 37 mark, and have the front step for a while. So I mean, it's pretty nice. You could tell that, like he said, like TJ said, they just don't have the package. But I mean, it's coming along. I know they're out there today. I think they were doing a private testing. He's actually getting to ride that V4. So we'll see how that goes and see if they're ready to step it up. I mean, but I was happy to see him up there in second place. I mean, well, he was third until Alex crashed and took second. So I mean, I was happy to see that, and I was happy to see him get top 5 in the GP race. I mean, it was kind of nice to see the boys back up there and not be back there where, you know, the back markers. So it's kind of nice to see that.
You know,
so,
if Smitty was on the show, he'll be talking about, you know, the bottom 5 need to lose their job, right? There's Bastianini and Vinales in the other thing. Once upon a time in the Yamaha boys.
Yeah. I mean, what you got to do? I mean, we're the back markers right now. I mean, there's nothing we can do on that. There's nothing I can do. Just get a new package.
Lewis, man, numbers guy. Yamaha, what Quartararo did. It's the best season he's had since he's won the championship. Would you agree with that? And what you thought of his performance over the weekend?
I mean, he always tries to put on the best performance he can with what he has underneath him. You know, right now he is the best rider on the shittiest bike. You know, even with all the riders that Honda has, none of them are at his level as far as skill, even though their bikes are just equally as shitty. He is the best rider on the shittiest bike, man. And I feel for the guy because you see that he is pushing, he's trying his best with what he has. And at some tracks, again, they're Yamaha tracks. He can take advantage of the strengths of the Yamaha. And, you know, this specific track, I mean, this track doesn't have a lot of straightaways. You're on the side of the tire a lot. It's a lot of cornering speed. And that's where the Yamaha is always accelerated. So this is a really good track for Yamaha. But, you know, again, you know, it sucks that he could only be good at a track that bike specifically could work at because he's at such a deficit in power and in other things. You know, Yamaha was or has been saying that the V4 is coming. I've been hearing that for years now. They finally gave a date when it'll be on the track. So I'm looking forward to that date coming, and I'm looking forward to them hopefully taking that next step because Quartararo is a guy you should see in the top 8 every weekend. Like he's a perennial top 7, top 8 guy. He shouldn't be finishing, you know, lower than 10th, or sometimes finishing in 18th place. I mean, that's not the place. And I can understand his frustrations with the bike. But again, he keeps signing the contracts too. So the checks must be clearing and they must be big enough to keep him on that shit box until they deliver something else. Right. But at some point, you know, if they don't deliver something, he's going to have to hit the eject button, just like Mark did with Honda. You know, at a certain point, you got to think about your career longevity, what legacy you want to leave for yourself. You know, for the public, you know, if you want to leave them legacy, you can, but I'd rather leave my legacy in my bank account than leave my legacy in how people look at me. You don't have to like me. You know, I do what I do. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't like Quartararo, but he does what he does, man. He gets on the bike, puts on a helmet, he goes hella fast on a shitty bike.
Listen,
so you got to give it to him.
Only thing I can say is I think Zarco will object to that. He's stacked up there on a shitty bike, and he's sipping the top step of the podium.
And they didn't give him a factory bike, so they did sign him, but they didn't give him a factory bike.
Before we move on, what are your thoughts on him not getting a factory seat? Because
I think they'll give him a factory bike just on the satellite team.
Okay,
like I think they just want to keep the younger guys. Huh?
They're going to be paying them from satellite money versus factory money.
I mean, satellite money still pays the bills, man. You know, it's not factory money. It's not
fewer zeros in there.
But no, but it also doesn't come. It doesn't come with as many commitments that you have to do when you're on a factory team. Like when you're on a factory team, from the time you get to the track to the time you leave, everything to how fast or how much time you have to wipe your ass is laid out for you. Like, you know, 7 p.m. Thursday night, you got to do this from this to this. You know, 9:30 p.m. Thursday night, you got to do this to this. 6:30 a.m. you got to be up because at 7 o'clock you got your first interview and you got to be there 6:45. After the interview's done, you're gonna go to the team. You're gonna like. Whereas a satellite team, they still have that structure, but they don't have as many publicity commitments because who really wants to talk to the LCR guy?
Come on, man.
Like legit, man.
I gotta agree with that.
How many times have you seen Fernandez, swamped? I can't get away. Agura, man, I see Agura 50 times going to the bathroom, bump into him, and be like, "Yo, man, my hands."
I know what you mean. I saw that it happened to me at Coda.
Yeah, the factory guys, man. If you see them, they literally from the trailer to the pit to the media center to this to that, like. They got somebody with them because they have to, like, they can't even keep track of their schedule.
Right.
Like, they look forward to getting on the bike so they don't have to do all that other stuff. This is the part that I like. All that other stuff is what I got to deal with. And even, if you go back, Casey Stoner is one of his biggest gripes about MotoGP. He's like, I'm here to ride a bike. I hate doing these interviews. I hate doing this. I hate, I got to do autograph signings. People lay out 100 knee pucks in front of me. I got to sign these from this time to this. Like, this is not what I came. I came to ride a bike, go fast, and win.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, some of that signing, I'm pretty sure Casey doesn't have a job right now. He's getting paid. So kind of works a little bit in their favor too. But let's move on. The KTM boys, guys, man, listen, I thought it was like a 3-headed dragon moving at one point. What are your thoughts on what they were doing? I mean, Bender's shining a little bit. I mean, I think we still got some more rounds for him to say, okay, he kind of saved his season. But what are your thoughts on what Bastianini, Acosta, and Bender, until he crashed out, was able to do? TJ.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the sprint, Bender actually in the past, like he loves sprints also. So it was good to see him, not do terrible as he's been kind of doing this year. But for watching the KTMs, like, all three of them together in the sprint, it was actually a good sight to see that, the way they were rolling and gelling with each other. And you see they had, like, obviously the same package where they were just the same competition, but it was good to see them, like, running. I think they were
fourth, fifth,
they were obviously top 10, but fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that was pretty good to see. Yeah. So what I was looking at is like, all right, out of all these three, what KTM rider is trying to prove himself the most? Like, who wants to be up front and take the charge? So I see Pedro Acosta trying to take the jump, and then out of nowhere, Nea Bastianini had such a good fight, which in results he had a good weekend. So that was really good for the KTM guys, seeing the whole paddock smiling and everything. So that was a good sight.
Reese, I mean, what are your thoughts on how KTM did, and also Bastianini? I mean, as TJ said, Acosta, wants to be the main guy, but Bastianini is looking real nice. Like, he's going to be the main guy for the rest of the season.
I mean, yeah, it was nice to see them all up there finally. I mean, I don't know if they were all trying to prove something for the new CEO of KTM out there. I don't know what they were doing, but whatever it did, it actually worked. So, I mean, Bastianini's coming along. Like, the checks are actually coming now. Like, oh man, we got checks now. Let's ride. I don't know. They got some money now. Like, we can ride now. I'm like, hey, if you want me to ride, show me the money first. But I don't know. I mean, Bastianini's, like I said, he's coming along. I think he wants to be that top guy over Acosta, and Acosta was leading. I mean, but Bastianini's showing his potential on that KTM and actually finally stepping his game up, and not somewhere in the, like I said, back marker or somewhere you can't find him, and like, where are you at? And Brad Bender, he's, like TJ said, he likes the sprint races. He does very well on sprint. When it comes to the GP race, he falls off his flat on his ass sometimes. But I mean, he was right there.
He rides a little wild. Man. He rides a little wild. That
I mean,
it's like you gotta call out there for him on that bike, bro.
You just gotta call it where you see it, man. I mean, he's always somewhere on the ground or blown up, or I don't know. I mean, Acosta, he gets a good jump and he just kind of fades back maybe 1 or 2 spots and then kind of settle in there.
Right.
But it was nice to see.
Yeah, it was nice. You saw how, talk about sliding Bender and Bastianini when they were all together. Those two were just sliding the rear like crazy.
Right. And you seen it. They were backing it in every corner they were trying to get in there. And I was like, nice. And just had to watch.
Yeah. It was very, yeah, the Tech 3 new guy. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Lewis, what are your thoughts on KTM? And also, yeah, let's talk about Tech 3 and the new owner, what's his name, from NASCAR, but also Formula One, because it seems like he'd rather say he owns a NASCAR team than who was in Formula One every time he was in front of a mic in MotoGP. What are your thoughts on what KTM did?
I was impressed with KTM. Again, this is a track that I think really did benefit them, at least played into a little bit more of their strengths. But I think all the riders that are doing well in KTM right now all need to send a big thank you to Maverick Vinales, because he's the one that kind of showed them the way with this new package this year. He was the first one to really start being successful on a regular. Mm-hmm. And once he became successful on a regular, all of a sudden that started to propagate to everybody else. Everybody else started getting a little better, a little faster, a little bit more confident. I think the biggest bonehead mistake of the weekend was Acosta going with the soft rear tire.
Yeah.
I don't know what he thought he was going to do. That track is brutal on tires. You spend a lot of time on the side of your tire. And you saw that, halfway through the race, he started dropping. He's coming out of the corners. He's spinning the tire. I mean, if he had gone with the same compound that the rest of the KTM riders went with, he probably would have been battling with Bastianini right to the end for that third spot. I mean, he's lucky he even got away with where he got away, because had the race been a couple more laps, realistically, he might have finished seventh, because the 4 or 5 guys behind him were catching him fast. He was only 1 second, less than a second ahead of Quartararo. He was about a second and a half in front of Agura, and I mean, he was still 3 seconds faster than Bagnaia, so we won't talk about that. But whatever.
Who is it faster than Bagnaia right about now?
Right.
But I think the next round is also going to be a good round for the KTM package. They're going to Italy, and that track is going to be really good for them. That track is going to be good for them. It's not going to be great for Yamaha. I think Quartararo will do his best in that back side of the track, where you can kind of get some speed and go through some fast corners. But I think the KTMs will be back up there next week. I don't know where the Aprilias are going to be, because we got an injury issue now, possibly, thanks to somebody taking somebody out. I'm going to say no names.
Morbidelli.
Jeez.
Good old Frankie's.
He got away with one, though.
Good old Frankie.
No, that second one was he didn't get away with that second one. That was clean, the second one. But that first one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see this next track. But I think KTM is probably going to be good the next 3 or 4 tracks. And then we'll see if they can keep carrying that momentum. And everybody on KTMs is safe right now. They all have contracts for 26 already signed. Mm-hmm. So they just got to ride. And then next year, we'll see how things sort. I mean, if things keep going the way they're going, the main person I see at any risk of losing their job next year is Binder. I think when Vinales gets healthy again, he's going to be right up at the front again. And Binder, with as many years he's been on the KTM, he's the one guy that is not shining. And you can't be on a bike, on a factory bike that long and have you guys coming and outshining you. So next year, the heat is going to be definitely turned up on Binder. Unless he's got some compromising photos of the right people, then he's going to keep his job.
How many rounds is Vinales actually going to be up top, though? Yeah.
If Vinales is healthy, honestly, he can be good, but again, man, he's got to be on the perfect bike. And it seemed like he helped them get the bike pretty sorted, because before he started getting on his streak, I mean, the KTM boys looked like they didn't have a roadmap on how to get around the track. And now all of a sudden, whatever they did or whatever he developed or whatever he did as far as changing the package, now all of a sudden the KTMs are looking great. And they got great riders. Bastianini and Acosta aren't slouches. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes for them. I think it's positive, and I think that new ownership. I can't remember the dude's name. Stein.
Gunter, is it?
Gunter Steiner.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Again, it's always good to have an infusion of money, man. You can't go racing without money. So if you can get an infusion of money and you can get an infusion of new ideas, let's see what he brings over from NASCAR, what he brings over from Formula One. Let's see what the shakeup is going to be, because like he said in the interview, from now until the end of the year is going to be status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But, when the end of the year comes, let's see what happens, what changes he's going to make. How's the team going to look? Are they going to stay with Red Bull? Because technically Tech 3 doesn't have to stay with Red Bull. I'm sure Red Bull is giving them some good coin. But let's say he wants to rebrand the team under his brand and do all these other things and bring in new sponsors. It's going to be real interesting for Tech 3. I hope Tech 3 gets a huge infusion of money. I hope they get away from the Red Bull logo. Like, we don't need four dudes on bikes that look exactly the same, even though they're not. Like, bring in some new sponsors.
Right.
Let's go Formula One style. Let's have 15 different sponsors sponsoring bikes out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to seeing what happens. I mean, I think for Harvey Montreal, it's tough letting go your baby, and he's had that baby for a minute. I think he's maxed out what he could do with it. I mean, he's had a lot of success. If you think about all the people that have gone through Tech 3, think about all the riders they have back when they were with Yamaha. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a launching pad for a lot of great Yamaha riders. That was a launching pad for a lot of great riders in general.
Yeah. For sure.
So it just comes, sometimes it just comes that day that you just got to let go.
We got to let go. That's the downside. It's father time.
Sign that check over.
That's it. But let's move on to Aprilia, because you touched on it a little bit. We'll talk. We'll start with TJ on that. Aprilia, what they did, it looked. Bezzecchi looked like he would have been the front runner for the Aprilia brand until he got jacked up, and even though he did crash out in the main race.
No, he only made it one lap.
Did he crash out in both races?
Did he crash in the second race?
Taken.
No, I thought
he got taken out.
Right?
He got taken out, and then I think he crashed the second race too.
Okay. Yeah.
Aprilia had a horrible weekend.
Yeah.
This is the one of the weekend they need to forget.
Yeah.
He completed one lap.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, TJ, on Aprilia, Martin, the Trackhouse boys? Because Agura is looking really good again after hopefully just healing up better, because he's starting to show pace again and getting out in front of Fernandez. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Agura probably looked the best out of all their Aprilia riders this weekend. I mean, with Martin getting taken out by Bezzecchi, by Morbidelli and the sprint.
Was it Morbidelli? Who did Furman take out?
Yeah.
So Morbidelli took out Martin, and who took out and Furman took out Bezzecchi?
Yeah, Furman took out Bezzecchi, and that's the correct name.
Ducati, huh? Italians on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was just when you try to have a good qualifying and you go, it's all racing, but the luck Bezzecchi been having, he's been on a good high, but just to have someone take you out, it just sucks, because I wish they just braked a little early or something like that. But just to have the Martin and Bezzecchi go out and basically a wash weekend for the sprint and the GP. It's hard to think about, because you're like, you got nothing out of it. You tried so hard to get where you are in the beginning and all the practicing and stuff like that to get ahead of everybody. So, hopefully, luckily it's a quick turnaround and they can just forget it and hopefully just look like KTM and get all their Aprilias back going on the right stepping stone.
Okay, that's what's up. Reese, what are your thoughts on Aprilia? They seem to be more consistent this year. I think, first few races we can probably say was up and down. They also didn't have Martin, obviously. But Martin finished 13th in the main race. I don't know. And he was taken out in the sprint. But Fernandez and Ayagura, those guys rode really well. What are your thoughts on where Aprilia is and how they're doing this season, where they're at in the season?
I mean, I definitely agree with you there. I definitely think they're more consistent this year overall. And unfortunately, both top guys in Aprilia were taken out. With Morbidelli and them, they were all taken out. But Agora, I mean, he carried the flag this weekend. I mean, for the main race, he actually carried it, and he did very well. I mean, I think that next year we're going to be a little different once all guys are 100% healthy. Mm-hmm. And they get their time to be on the bike, to develop the bike to where they need to be, and get the bike to that with their standards. I think it's going to be a little bit different race. I think they'll be up there always in the top 5. I hope Jorge's come back stronger. It'd be a nice battle. So we'll see what they got next year coming into it. I mean, this year I think they just need to salvage as much as they can. Bastianini still is third. I mean, Bezzecchi is still third. Bezzecchi. Yeah, Bezzecchi's still third. So, I mean, long as he can carry the points, and so.
Right.
I mean, he's doing better than Pekka.
Do you think that?
We'll throw that out there.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I see it right there. Do you think that Morbidelli's penalty was enough? I mean, if you look at it as one instance, but if you look at the whole year, at some point, like race direction should do a little bit more, because it's like it was one lap, and I think he recovered. He also crashed. Oh, did he crash? Yeah, he ended up crashing out. But he still was doing fairly decent, even after his long lap penalty. Do you think it should have been worse than this one lap?
I think it's going to come down to more than a one lap with him. I mean, if you look, it's like almost like technically a consistency of something going on. Like every round, he's going up to the race direction. He's doing something. And I'm still trying to figure out how the heck did he get another year on his bike? Like Jesus Christ, I'm like, give it up. Like, he hasn't really been relevant since COVID years.
Well,
Sorry.
The thing is, what other available Italian is there to put on that bike right now?
That is a good point. There is none.
Valentino Rossi is not, in the practice of giving his seats to non-Italians. He's got a VR46 Academy. He helps get Italians through Moto3 and Moto2. He signs a lot of these Italians to his VR46 camp. So what is he going to do? For all these rumors that people have been saying about Acosta going to VR46, I never believed it for once that Rossi was going to put a Spaniard on his bike over an Italian. Like, he'll get an Italian off the street in the middle of Venice and give him a bike before he gives a Spaniard a bike, man.
No, but I thought he was going to at least get somebody from Moto2, one of his new upcoming guys.
Yeah, but none of his upcoming guys look that strong in Moto2. So it's give Frankie another year and see what shakes out. And maybe next year, Pecco
more penalties.
But Pecco gets kicked off the Ducati squad and he can pick him up and put him on his bike. Or some other Italian, doesn't re-sign with their team. Because next year, if you think about it, Pecco will be free. Bezzecchi will be free.
Right.
There's a lot of free Italians next year that he can put on the bike. So giving Frankie a 1-year contract just to keep an Italian ass on that seat and keep it warm for another year is not a bad idea. Even though Frankie's going to cost him a lot of money in parts and a lot of headaches.
But Frankie's, he's doing fairly well. I mean,
when he's not crashing into people, yeah.
Despite all of his penalties, he's like, so you think if he didn't have these penalties, how much further he could be in the championship?
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, Frankie kills me. Like, Frankie's my boy. I like Frankie. But Frankie's like that brother that every time the phone rings on a Saturday night, you're like, oh, shit, man. That's you, bro. It's 1 a.m. Why he calling me, man?
What did he do?
Oh shit!
That's Frankie. Like, you my family, my boy. I like you. 1 o'clock Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Why is the cops calling me?
Open the door.
Hi, this is Sergeant such and such. Are you Luis Ortega? Yeah.
I had nobody else to call. I mean, listen, you're absolutely right. I mean, Rossi looks out for his peoples.
Yeah.
And we saw that, I mean, I think, we're going to move on to Honda anyway, but like he looks out for his people. You see what he did for his brother and all the other riders that he's brought through. And even, I can't remember, isn't it Migos? Migo? He has a Yeah, Mino. Yeah, it's just like these are there's more, and I'm knock to him, but there's more talented riders than him, and he's in Moto E now, but still, he's still on a bike.
Well, I think the reason that they signed Frankie this late in the game is because he really was waiting to see if Honda would sign his brother. And once Honda signed his brother, then he was like, all right, now I got a seat available. Let me sign Frankie. Yeah. That's really, I feel that's really what it came down to, because if Honda did not sign his brother, then his brother would be back on a Ducati next year on a VR46 bike.
Gotcha.
That's just the way he works. And I don't blame him, man. If that was my family, and I know his brother has talent. His brother's a talented rider.
We'll talk about that because as we're going to jump into Honda. But let's talk about how he's been doing. He come back after his injury, and he is a talented rider. Yeah, no,
TJ can kick it off, but I think he's definitely up there.
TJ, well, we'll set it up, man. Look, we see Zarco, the other Frenchman who's doing well on a bad bike. Mir is struggled a little bit, but did well. But it looked like Luca is kind of having back-to-back rounds, and he's going home next weekend. So his chances are he might even get on the podium on that Honda, because that Honda was looking strong out there, fighting with the KTMs and the Aprilias, man.
Yeah, the Honda's actually looking much better than, you can see their progression. And when you come off an injury, you obviously have your setbacks. So it's good to see, Mir, Luca Marini, Mir always crashing, Luca Marini was out. So it was good to see Honda actually finishing. Zarco's proved this point. He's got on the podium. He's thrown that bike around. So for him crashing out, he was giving it his all. But, for them to finish, I think Mir and Luca Marini finishing top 10 was definitely good to see. It looks like definitely Luca Marini coming back into his own. And then when you start finishing and getting top 10 and actually finishing the whole weekend, you build more confidence, and you see it in Luca Marini for sure, where he's battling with guys that not used to seeing him battle with. So.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Reese, man, on what Honda is doing? I'm trying to see what Zarco was 7th and in the qualifying, and Luca was
like 3rd.
He was
in what, qualifying?
In qualifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty fast.
What row was Luca Marini on? 2 or 3?
Third.
He qualified.
He started 10th. Probably even 4th row, right?
Fourth row.
4 across?
Yep.
3 across?
3 across.
Yeah, 3 across.
Yeah.
So
not too far off the, like 6/10, almost 7/10.
He started it further up front than Bagnaia, so. Bagnaia practically started from pit lane.
We don't talk about too many people in the back, Pecco.
As Lewis said, watch this, hold my beer.
He's back there with Chantra.
But Reese, what are your thoughts on how Honda is doing? You think they have you think they have everything to finish strong? Do you think they have a chance to be like as far as manufacturer, one of the top 3 manufacturers for next season? Because they've been showing glimmer, and what are your thoughts?
As much as it kills me to say this, I say yes. It kills me to say it. They've been showing out of the Jap boys that they have the progression to come back. They are doing a progression slowly but surely. And I think that, once they get their stuff back together, they're going to be a top contender. They're actually on their way back up. Luca Marini showed that. You just said he qualified in, the 4th row and to come up there in the top 10. So, I say they're on their way back. I just wish the boys in blue would figure this crap out and get this V4 going and stop being so slow. But, I could say that I think next year that we're going to see the Honda boys back up on the podium.
Yeah, I can kind of see that as well, for sure, and rightfully so, because it's, as much as I love Ducati, it's nice when there's other brands competing versus the top 6 Ducati riders competing with each other.
You mean in the Ducati Cup?
Yeah, exactly. We're not saying that this year, right? So it is, it's definitely been abolished by the non-Ducatiists.
It's the Marquez Cup now.
Right. What are your thoughts, Lewis, on how Honda is doing? Do you agree with Reese and myself as saying that Honda could be one of the top 3 brands as far as next season on wins and podiums and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, they're going in the right direction. I mean, if you look at them and you look at Yamaha, I think Honda is definitely a lot closer than Yamaha is. If you look at overall, when they're both healthy, the larger majority of Honda riders finish higher up than the larger majority of Yamaha riders. So, given all things apples to apples, I think Honda is just a few steps ahead, because the only thing that's making Yamaha look good right now is Quartararo. But on the Honda side, Marini has his great days, Rins has his good days, and Zarco has his good days.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they definitely have a little bit better of a package somewhere, because they're finishing a little bit better. And it's not like they have consistently better riders. I think they're both on par, and Yamaha definitely has overall the better rider in Quartararo. Yamaha, they got okay riders. I can't believe that Jack Miller's still there. I really thought he was going to go World Superbike. But Honda kept their crew. They're happy with the team. That's why they re-signed everybody, to make sure that they're there next year and keep developing the bike. And I really do think that by the end of this year and going into next year, Honda will be in a much better position, because I don't see a lot of development happening with the current bikes next year, considering what's going to happen in 27. So,
right.
I think that the money's going now towards the 27 bike, and Honda's still finding little pieces for this bike that they can bring over to the 27 bike.
So I let me ask you this: who's a better teammate for Toprak than Jack Miller in MotoGP?
I was gonna say
nobody. That's it.
When you say teammate, you mean somebody that's going to be easier for him to beat?
Man, come on, man. It's more to it than that. Come on, man. Come on. And it's not going to be easy to meet Jack. Jack Miller just beats himself, because he usually, chucks it down the road. I mean,
Jack's a personality. Like, he's a pretty open guy. He's a pretty easy to get along with kind of person, kind of rider. So I think that's going to be a good gel for the two of them. Toprak's going to be stepping into MotoGP. He's coming from the big fish in the little pond, and now he's going to be a mediocre fish in a big pond that got a couple of big ass sharks.
Right.
So he's going to have to grow a little bit, get some weight up.
Let me say this though, I'll bring up Pecco.
Oh.
You'll hear Pecco say Jack Miller was his best teammate to date.
Yeah, because he could beat Jack Miller pretty easily.
Come on, man. It wasn't that.
Oh, I mean,
your best teammate that doesn't compete against you. That's your best teammate.
Nah, they help him.
Yeah, he helped
talk to them and stuff, and
behind him, because he was a rolling
stuff.
roadblock. My man might as well have a sign that says caution and have a bike that's 8 feet wide. Like, that's your best teammate right there.
What do you guys say?
At this point, I think Jack Miller's okay with that. They use him for every manufacturer he went to. They use him the same way. He went to KTM, and he was supposed to help Binder and change things around, and then he was gone. You know what I'm saying? So
he's a successor to Petrucci. That's what they do with Petrucci.
Yeah. So I think, looking at it, we got things to look forward to now. When we go to Portimao, we're going to see who's going to jump over turn, 5 or something like that. The most, they're going to have stompy competitions. Yeah, that's not what racing's about, but it's just going to bring something to look forward to. And Jack Miller would be a good teammate, I think, for Toprak, because, who else can he really learn from at this stage? You know what I'm saying? I don't think a younger rider would teach him.
What do you think?
I mean,
he's
Top Rock's probably not even gonna listen to him.
So we're gonna let Reese.
Nothing really, but just where the controls are. Where the controls are. What do you do with this turn? Yeah, I got you. That's it.
All right, Reese. Since you're you work for a team, Reese, and there's two riders, and you know how it works on the inside. You already just acknowledged that it's a good idea for Jack Miller. When to the best of what you can tell us, are you guys looking for a rider that another rider can beat? Let's just on the team. Like, is that what we're saying here? That, like, you know, it's the easy rider, and, you know, please tell Lewis why Jack is the perfect teammate for.
Oh, I know why. Let's listen to Reese, but I know why.
don't let Lewis bully you, man. Come on.
He's not bullying me, but I'm just laughing. But no, I think Jack is okay. I mean, Jack is a good rider. I mean, he's a hell of he can help develop a bike. That's one. He can help develop it and understands. He's coming from Ducati. So he knows the inside and out of that V4 that's coming. You know, he can help bring that V4 up into specs and to get it to where the Ducati was. I mean, yes, he is a great, easy person to beat, as Lewis would say. And if I'm Jack Miller, I really wouldn't give a damn as long as the check's clear at the end of the day. Cha-ching in my bank. But no, I mean, I think Jack and Toprak will get along just fine. I think he'll help Toprak develop into a better rider. I think Jack will show Toprak certain things that other people won't show him, because we all know Jack just doesn't have a filter on him. He has zero filter, zero cares. He's going to tell it like it is. And so I think that's where it's going to help Toprak become that different animal on the bike than anybody else would.
Okay. Do you think Toprak
he won't turn into Pecco, though?
Any influence in getting them re-signed? Do you think, like, they, you know, behind the scene, they already knew this and say, hey, we want this guy to stay versus Oliveira?
I mean, if you look at it, apples to apples in performance, I mean, really, you going to keep Oliveira or you going to keep Jack?
You mean you're going to keep the guy that the weekend that Jack got signed to a new contract beat Jack's ass in both races, or Jack?
He's looking for a new job, man. Come on. It's a job interview he's doing right now. You know how it works. Like, you
job
got more around
outline.
the job.
I'm really good at getting hit by other riders.
Hey.
Unbreakable, though. Jack's unbreakable so far.
Right. I mean, you got to look at this. Who's the next Yamaha guy on that bike? Who's the next one besides Quartararo? Who is the next one?
Jack.
I mean, compared to Rins and Oliveira.
Yeah.
Rins, honestly, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Yamaha buys him out of the rest of his contract and finds somebody else. Because at this point, Rins is just riding to try to get through his contract.
I mean, I would just buy him out and get him out the seat. Like, bye, you got to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, buy him out, get a young guy, you know, on the seat for, you know, a good price, get somebody out of Moto2 that shows some potential. I mean, again, you can find yourself, if you look at the Moto2 grid, man, it's pretty stacked. The top 6-7 guys, there's a lot of talent right there. I'd rather put one of those guys on a bike and see if they could do what Agura and Fernandez and Aldeguer are doing versus, you know, staying with Rins and watching him, you know, sit on the crash truck or sit in the tire wall or not make it out or, you know, qualifying 18th place. I mean, right now, you're just burning gas and tires.
That's it.
Has anyone ever got bought out before?
Yeah, it's happened before. Ask Vinales. He didn't get bought out. He got fired.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I witnessed that.
Conduct detrimental to the team was the exact clause that they used to fire his ass.
I think he's redeemed himself.
I seen that one, but
if more guys can destroy more bikes than what Quartararo did not did attempt to do and didn't succeed, I mean, they're still on other bikes. I think we can let Vinales go on that one. And hey, like you say, when it's a shit box, all you want to do is break it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I understand why they picked Jack Miller over Oliveira. I mean, Oliveira has no consistency, but it's not always his fault. I mean, obviously he's been hurt a lot of, again, no fault of his own. But do I keep Oliveira?
He needs some milk.
Yeah, do I keep Oliveira or do I keep Jack Miller, who's a more well-known commodity, who's more liked, who comes with a little bit more cachet, has more experience? I keep Miller.
Games.
Yeah, I keep Miller. I keep Miller because at least I know it's going to help the team in a positive way. Right. Even if he's not that competitive, it's a positive impact overall on the team and overall on Yamaha.
Right. Well, let's segue right into. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, why was it such a hard decision? They waited so long, like the last minute, like it was.
Honestly, I think they were trying to get another rider, and the other rider fell through, or they couldn't come to agreement with another rider. So then they were like, let's just lock in Miller again, because Miller started to put that little bit of pressure that he's looking elsewhere, that this and that. And I think they wanted to see if they could find somebody else, but they couldn't. So they just, sometimes they're going to pick the easier path.
They were going to bring Manzi over until Ray decided to retire.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let's talk about World Superbike and Top Rock. Hat trick, right? It seems like Bulaga Bulaga's riding in the best ride he's riding, but he seems like he's in his head the way he's riding a little bit. What are your thoughts on, what Top Rock is doing in World Superbike? And, it was pretty cool races this weekend. And I'll save it for you, Lewis. You'll talk about Sam Lowe and Alex Lowe's because one of them survived. What are your thoughts, DJ?
Yeah, I mean, Top Rock he's ready. You can see he's just a standout right now. He's showing that he's unbeaten, and even from last year when he was off a couple rounds, he was up by a lot of points and still came back to win. So he's just showing that he's ready, and to have the hat trick, I forget how many wins in a row he's had, but just to complete the weekend again.
One less than Marc Marquez. I think it's like 12 or something like that.
I feel for Bulaga. I feel for Bulaga. I mean, last time when we talked, we thought he had a shot of just keeping it close, but I think Top Rock's going to have it locked unless, something's wrong with the bike or, just a racing incident. But just to pull a hat trick again, and, Bulaga also second all the way around, which is, the best he can do, At least he didn't get like a third or anything like that. It's like he did the best he can do. It's just, we talked about it. He wants to be that champion. I just don't think he's going to get it. Top Rock's just been amazing.
The best he could do, it was ugly too. He made some mistakes, but he fought back to get that second. So if he could have had a ride like Top Rock, maybe it might have been closer. TJ,
can he really ride like that, Top Rock?
No, you can't. It's a different style of riding. I love watching. I mean, it's a different style of riding, and he's a lot smoother rider. And the things have to be right, I think, for him to go fast.
I mean, he's doing better than Pekka.
I can go fast on any bike.
He's doing better than Pekka. Sure, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, Reese, on the races and the outcomes?
I mean, at the end of the day, I watch it and kind of like, all right, it's the same kind of players up front as Bulaga, it's Top Rock. I mean, like once I see Top Rock get like a decent sized gap, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, I'm like, all right, race is over. It's like it is what it is. I mean, no one's riding like Top Rock, and everyone, we sit here and we pray. Like, there's guys I hear all the time, they praise BMW for this and this and that. I'm like, and I always look at them, I'm like, can I ask y'all a question? When the last time BMW been relevant? Never. And I'm like, they're like, oh, it's fast. No, Top Rack's fast, not BMW. Top Rack is fast. If you take Top Rack off, who wins? No one.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So
Where's the other BMW?
they did a good question. I mean, look, the other BMW is coming to Moto America.
Yeah.
That answers your question. So it's Top Rack. I mean, we're watching a guy in history that went from stunt riding to racing to can just do some incredible things on a bike, and they're trying to compare him to Marquez, and I'm like, yeah, I can see a little bit of it, but I'm like, he's in his own world. I mean,
Got you.
Bulaga just need to step up.
Yeah, right. And before I move on to you, Louis, Reese, do you think that Top Rack's riding style will suit MotoGP?
Yes and no, because I know the chassis are a lot lighter. They're a lot different. So he's going to have to get used to that chassis to be able to maneuver it like he wants to and move it around like he wants to. That chassis is so light, he's going to flick it in there and whoop, out he goes.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Louis, what are your thoughts on how the races went and, Top Rack and, let's talk about the Lowe's brother. Alex Lowe's proved you wrong this weekend. I don't know if it's enough to get out of the pond, but.
It barely proved me wrong.
Why you hate the brother so bad?
I don't hate them. It's comical to me how, they're great riders. Obviously, they have a lot of talent. But, I mean, they've been in the sport for a very long time. They've probably racked up the largest repair bill of any two siblings in the history of motorcycle racing, including the Marquez brothers, who also put a bunch. But they win. But they keep getting rides. Yeah, exactly. They keep getting rides, I know one gets a ride because he's married to the owner of the team, and the other one, again, incriminating photos of somebody. I don't know, but they keep getting rides, and good for them. I'm glad they keep racing. He got a double podium this weekend. His brother finished one race on the track, finished the other race in the crash truck. So, a Lowe's brother is always, at least one Lowe's brother is going to put it in the bin each weekend. And this weekend,
gas for nothing.
This weekend they didn't disappoint. So even they aren't on the podium.
What do you think about that Kawasaki motor and the new team? Because it's pretty impressive.
It's impressive. It's very impressive. I mean, it just goes to show how Kawasaki themselves must not be giving a damn where their motor on another frame is doing that good, but their own bike is a shitbox. Like it just shows that Kawasaki is just not invested in putting anything in that team. Because if somebody can take the motor out of your bike, put it in a different frame, in a different chassis, develop a couple of different parts and everything else, and be as good as BMWoto is being, on the bike with that motor, and then Kawasaki can't even keep up with that bike. Like, what's going on, man? Like, Kawasaki should kind of a little bit be ashamed of themselves, man. I mean, they can be proud of the motor, but they can't be proud of themselves. The motor is great. It's just everything around the motor is not working. So why don't you invest the money? Why don't you put forth the effort? You obviously have a great bike. Yeah.
As Garrett, that one.
Garrett would love to have any parts, anything, develop me something, do it, a foot peg. Give me a foot peg. At this point, I'll go faster with a better foot peg, And then on the Ducati side, Bulaga is a great rider. He's a great rider. I think Ducati's biggest mistake this year was not moving to the new bike. I think staying with the old bike and thinking that they're going to get through the season with the old bike, with the new bike already available, and not bring it to the market.
It's not available.
It's not.
The new R.
The R is not. Yeah.
So
that's the one.
They have to use the R. Yeah, it's 1,000 cc. The other one is 1,100.
Yeah, they should have brought that bike to market sooner, man. Because I think he's getting out hustled right now because BMW has the newest, latest, and greatest version of their bike. Mm-hmm. And, he's still on the older bike that really is not getting into development because it's not going to be used next year. So it's like I'm kicking the can down the road for a year. I can't really do that much with it. I'm restricted to whatever the restrictions that were already on the bike are on the bike. And then BMW, they started the year with some struggles because this new bike didn't work out very well. And I guess they found their way. They got a ton of horsepower. They got a ton of agility, and the bike works great for a top rack. And whatever the bike doesn't have, top rack fills in that last 6-7% with his talent. And, I don't think Bulaga is I think Top Rack will probably win the championship with 2 rounds left. At this point, just looking at the numbers and looking at the way that things are kind of progressing, I think with 2 rounds left, he'll probably walk away with the championship, unless something dramatic happens. Like I said in the last show, this is the Top Rack show. This is the Top Rack championship to lose. Bulaga can do everything he can, but, he's still got to beat that guy in front of him. And Top Rack is just riding, man. Like I think he's the first superbike in Magna-Cura history to do like a sub 135.
Yeah.
Like, that's fast, man. If you think about all the people that have been riding that track for all the years they've been riding it, that's an accomplishment. Anytime you break an all-time lap record at a track where the lap record, I think, is something like 6 years old or 7 years old, and the one sub 135, nobody's ever done it. So the dude is pushing like nobody's business. So let's see what happens when he comes to GP, man. I hope he can adapt. It's a different bike, but I'm sure, again, he knows how to ride a bike. He just needs to adapt to riding a new style of bike.
Right.
And we haven't seen a superbike guy come over to MotoGP in a long time and make an impact. I mean, the last one was Ben Spies.
Crutchlow. He got one. He got some.
Did Crutchlow ever win a race?
Yeah, he won a race.
In the rain? Had to be in the rain.
He got on the podium in the rain, but I think he won a race.
In the rain.
I don't know if it was rain or not, but he got one.
Probably.
He was the rain.
Yeah, it was probably rain.
Might have been.
All right, the last superbike guy to win in the dry was Ben Spies. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do,
Yeah. We'll see, and you never know. Gonzalez might make it over, although he didn't race Superbike. He raced Super Sport.
Yep.
Honda got some stuff shuffling around. I think they thought. Who did they think? I was going to say, I think they were hoping Zarco was going to Honda Superbike, but instead he stayed over. So now you got Samkat Kantra coming over on one of the bikes and Jake Dixon on the other bike. So, I mean, Xavi V8, Jack was the last name. He's out of it, right? He has no seat at the moment.
He has no seat.
What are your thoughts on what Honda is doing over there in World Superbike, TJ?
I mean, we can sum it up in one word.
Just watching. I mean, it's an interesting shakeup. It's an interesting shakeup. So, I mean, I don't know what the best fit would be for him, but I guess Chantra going to World Superbike is better than him being in MotoGP.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got rid of his seat. I mean, so he got no choice. But like, I mean, he's a nice guy and all. But I think they were pretty kind of. I mean, obviously, Iko Lukowono left. But like, they're gonna take a few years to. I mean, Jake Dixon. I mean, it's gonna take a few years, right?
A few years. Man, it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, right. It's so. I mean, can we make sense out of why Honda would pick? I mean, again, I can see Jake Dixon, but
Contra, I think is because the Asian market, and they probably wanted to keep him in the Honda fold. Mm-hmm. This is a big market. Where he's from is a very, very big market for Honda as a company and for the units that they sell there. So it's important to have some representation. So I think that's why, and they're giving him an opportunity. I mean, the guy knows how to ride. It's not like they're just giving him an opportunity because where he's from or anything like that. Yeah. And I think he might do better in World Superbike just because, looking back at the way he rode in Moto 2 and the bikes in Moto 2, even though they're different, I mean, I would compare Moto 2 closer to a World Super Sport and a World Superbike than a MotoGP bike. I think there's a big leap from a MotoGP bike back to a World Superbike. So I think he'll be in a little bit better position than where he was at now. It gives him an opportunity to help continue to work forward. Maybe he's a good development rider. Maybe there's something that Honda saw from him from his time on the satellite team, where they were like, hey, this guy has a great opportunity here. He's a good development rider. He knows how to find issues with the bike. And I know Honda's working on making a new package and, developing some new stuff. So this is, again, an opportunity for them. The Jake Dixon signing, you know me, man. I'm not a huge Jake Dixon fan. I'm not leading the Jake Dixon fan club. I can see why they signed him. I mean, he's a little bit of a more mature rider. He's going to come with a little bit more experience and so forth. I think he's going to come with a little bit more fire in his belly because he didn't get that opportunity in MotoGP, but he's been a front runner in Moto2 for a long time. So now he's going to come over to the big pond. And if he does similar to what Bulaga did, coming from Moto2, coming from where he was at, I think he could do great. Again, the limitation there is more than anything is the bike. Honda just hasn't had a strong package in a long, long time. And no matter how many R's they keep adding to that name until they come up with an actually good bike, you can add all the R's you want, and you're not going to go further forward.
You might have a point. Yeah. Man, I think we're coming up on a time. I mean, Reese, let's talk about Moto America, Coda, before we get out of here real quick. You guys ready? I mean, I used to look like you might be ready for bed, but
Hey man, long days, man.
At this point it's everything's already planned and prepared. It's just executing the plan, right?
That's it. Just execute and go with it. I mean, we're going out here to compete and win this. See if we can steal one from here.
That's what's up. Any questions, TJ or Lewis, you want to add before we get out of here on what the plan is?
I can't say what the plan is for Reese because I'm not there. But I hope the plan is for all riders in all classes to have a great weekend, to get through the weekend safely. Make sure everybody leaves with the same number of parts that they showed up with. Don't leave with less or more parts. Everybody be safe. Coda is a great track to ride. I mean, it's a beautiful layout. It's fast. It's got a little bit of everything. I mean, it's definitely one of the most beautiful tracks that we have here in the U.S. So I hope all the riders and all the teams enjoy the hell out of it. We're down to the last two rounds.
Uh-huh.
We'll see who, there's possibility this weekend that, somebody might clinch a championship, not maybe in Superbike, but in Super Sport and other classes. There's a lot of opportunities to clinch. It'll just takes a little bit of the right numbers. So we'll see, man. We'll see how the weekend goes. But I hope everybody gets through the weekend safe. That's always my first thought for every weekend is, I want to see all the guys and girls coming out of the track healthy and ready for the next round and keep riding and just have a good time, enjoy themselves.
Oh, listen to this talk, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm getting all sentimental, bro. I'm about to cry.
Right. What the world?
See, you guys think I'm a dick all the time.
I never heard this guy get sentimental.
Nah, yo, I do, man. We're in a very, very fun but hazardous sport.
Yeah.
And that's why as much as I might dislike a rider, I'll never root for a rider to get hurt or anything like that. That's not true fan. That to me, that's not a fan. That's a fanatic.
Right.
Only fanatics look for somebody to get hurt. I like people to get through the weekend. If you get injured, that's part of the game. But I still want you to go home to your family.
I agree. I'm torn. I have 2 Ducatis and 2 Yamahas, so I think however it pans out.
Tuning fork.
That's it. Tuning for it real quick, man. Get rid of that duck.
TJ, man, I know you're gonna be locked into Moto America, and you're a Yamaha guy for sure. But you're Josh Herron's boy, so what's the dilly?
I mean, I haven't heard any news. I don't know if he's going to be participating, but I'm sure he will be. But I'm just happy to see, another big race, at Coda. So I like to see, the roller coaster layout that it has there, and then just to see Moto America there. It's just going to be a good sight to see. It's coming down to the crunch time. with the riders. So, you know, I want to see Bobby Fall win. Obviously, Josh Aaron's my boy, but he's on a tear, and you know, I ride the Yamaha too on the track, so I you know like my Yamaha guys. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun weekend. Like Lewis said, I just want everyone to be safe. You know, like don't want to see anything crazy, the bikes on fire and stuff like that. You know, so I just want everyone to have fun and good battles also. So
I wouldn't
want to
mind
see
seeing one
down that. You know, I just like watching that straightaway. You know, like that back straight. So just to see what the bikes really have. You know, what the Yamaha got or what the Ducati have, and just to see what their legs got out there. So I'm excited to see what that's about.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Well, I appreciate everyone coming on. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. We got TJ from Two Wheels and Coffee, Reese from Attack Yamaha, the real Louis Ortega, the numbers guy. Peace.
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 Peace.